Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fancy pants. Okay, we good to go?
Yep.
I like your hat.
Talking to me.
Yes.
It just came free in a box of goodies.
Adriel doesn't have a hat on. Of course I'm talking to you.
Nope, no hat for Adriel.
Okay, let's go, I think. Do you guys see us live? This thing says
I
error.
I got a notification on my phone saying that we're live on YouTube.
Cool. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That means we're live. So, hey, Trevor, start
Yeah.
the show.
Okay. Why don't I start the show? Okay, I'm starting the show. It's a show. I'm starting it. Here we go. Show notes. Giddy up. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slam Fire Radio, episode 316, as in Austin 316. Huh? Anybody? No? All right. It's
That's
August.
some pretty old and pretty esoteric
Well, guess
references
what?
you got there.
Guess what? I'm old.
And
So my,
esoteric.
so my, and whatever she called me, I don't even know what that means, but I'm old and esoteric,
Yes.
and so are my references. And shut your face.
Yeah,
And
but you
it's
would have been an
August.
adult by the time Steve Austin would have been like a wrestler.
Yeah, which means I was really able to appreciate him.
You know who I think of when you say Steve Austin?
Yeah, of course you do. The $6 million man, because you're super duper old. When you're my age, Steve Austin is Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you're your age, you're a Farrah Fawcett fan, and that other guy. You can't see it, but she's flipping her blonde hair over her shoulder. It's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to Slime Fire Radio for August 8th. I'm one of your hosts, Trevor the Frelate.
I'm Kelly Lynn, the classy one.
And Adriel Michaud.
And random Dave and McFly are off randomly flying or whatever. Who cares? They're not here. They hate you. So why don't we jump into what we did this week in guns, which is brought to us by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. And this week, we're pimping their Faxon barrels. So Faxon is an aftermarket barrel manufacturer, and they not only produce AR barrels, but they also produce Glock barrels as well as some other ones. And so you can go to the CGN and click the link, or go to their website and check out they're dimpled Glock barrels, which look really sexy, and they're kind of like, they're not just black or that gold tin coating. They have them in like chameleon, so like when the light hits it, it changes color, different shades of blues and purples. It's really cool. And they're fluted. I think I said that. They're all
Dimpled.
They're really cool. Dimpled.
Dimpled.
They call it fluted, actually.
Is it the same
Fluted
thing?
chameleon. Yeah, it's the same
Dimples
thing.
like the little circular flutes.
Right. Yeah,
That aren't
these are,
flutes, but they're dimples.
yeah. So they're not circular like a golf ball dimple. They're like little scallop cuts. Anyway, what for reducing the weight and the cool factor, you can get them threaded, non-threaded. They run from $279 all the way up to $3.25, depending what you want. But like AR barrel, get this, man. Pencil thin, government profile. So not pencil thin, but a government profile / SOCOM profile, 18.5 inches or 18.6 inches, chambered in 5.56 NATO, $269. Like, hello, I got some AR uppers and lowers that I bought during the freak out a couple of weeks back. That is a super price. And, these are Faxon barrels. They're not a fly by night. So you got an AR that you're looking to finish and need a barrel, give the Calgary Shooting Center a call. And I believe Faxon, who makes that carbon wrapped one that's really cool that Maple Ridge sells? Might be a Faxon as well. Anyway, get your Faxon barrels on. Calgary Shooting Center. Shell shop there, you're communist. Into what we did this week in guns. I only got a few things, but that doesn't mean it's going to be quick, so I'll go first. Nationals. Nationals is Nationals is all over. It was cool. It was a very interesting experience. Shout out to IPSC Canada and IPSC Quebec. They did a fantastic job. And what was really cool about this Nationals, it was the first time that Quebec was able to host the Canadian Nationals in the history of IPSC Canada and IPSC Quebec. So congratulations to them in a historic match. It's just good. It's just good, really. There's there's always little things you can pick apart. Like there was only one set of porta potties, and they were all the way at one end of the range, not in the middle of the range. Not my ideal location for porta potties.
Were there
I
lots
would
of
like.
bushes around?
Well, yes, there were actually. So I made out just fine,
Yeah.
right? That's why I'm saying, whatever. But for the ladies that were on Bay 5 that had to walk all the way up to the bus stop to use the porta potty, not cool. Every Nationals, every SummerSlam, I'm sure you can pick them apart and find little things like that. Overall, the match was a success, and there was a lot of heat. And I'm not talking about the temperature. It was a tough match, man. Like Sean Hansen and I, he was like 21st and I was 22nd, or he was 20th. Yeah, I think he was 21st and I was 22nd. So out of 52 people, you got A-class shooters and master level shooters that are like the top 20. So the top 20 was just stacked with super competitive people. So, and a lot of the divisions were like that. Mo shoots open well. Like he was 28th or something like that. It was a tough match. Tim Thomas, if I was a bet man, I would have said Tim Thomas would have won this thing, and he ended up 9th. So hey, his first Nationals, finished 9th, hell of a showing. But really, I thought he was going to actually do better. And it's not to say that Tim didn't do well. He shot a really strong match, but man, there was a lot of competition.
Well, for Canadian competition and international, you guys had a Casey Eusebio come out to that, and looks like he had his way with open.
He did, yeah. And I mean, yeah. And Jessie Harrison, she changed her last name when she remarried or something there. Anyway, she's a professional shooter for Taurus, also shoots open. I think she finished in the top 10 out of everybody. So yeah, I'm not sure why they were in the pre-match, but I guess if you're a professional shooter, you get to pick when you shoot, and you get to shoot in the pre-match. And so I didn't get to see either of them shoot, but saw their Instagram videos. So I don't know. Somebody said to me again, hey, you should really try and get Casey at SummerSlam. I'm like, oh yeah, why is that? Well, it would be good for the match. How? Well, it would help get the match on the map. So the match that sells out in 3 days without Casey should have Casey. I'm still waiting how this is going to make my match better.
I don't know that there was a lot of like hubbub before that he was going to be there either. Like it wasn't like it
makes no difference.
Go, Casey's going to be here, therefore you should be there. It looks like you guys had a ton of really good shooters out there, regardless.
It's sold out. It's sold out in 30 seconds, and then they had to open up more spots. So having a pro come to our matches, I don't think is anything special for the match. Not when they sell out anyway. So this Saturday, so I shot a half day in the afternoon on Wednesday, had Thursday off, shot a half day Friday morning, and then Saturday was my work day. So shout out to Richard O, our CRO, and all the other crew. Got somebody introduced to the show. I gave out a patch or two along the way. It was a good day. It was a good. We had a crackerjack work crew. Richard was CROing. Ralph Sanford from Alberta was the RO. I was the scorekeeper. And then we had 2 other ROs to each take a bank of targets. And man, we had that sucker scored and patched in the blink of an eye. And we had one of our workers constantly picking brass while we were doing that because, this at the end of day 1, they were like, oh, by the way, you got to pick the brass. Oh, thanks for telling us.
Military range, you do have to police brass, yeah.
Sure, Kelly, great. Tell us in the morning. We'll pick all day. Don't wait till it's time to load the bus, which is what unfortunately happened on the first day. So then every day after that, people were picking it as they went, and then got kind of snotty about having to turn it over to the Quebec volunteers who put on the match. So I'm not saying that people stole brass on the last day, but I did, and so did some other people. So sandbags of brass may have gotten on the bus with people and went home. So whatever. Yeah,
it's like imagine you had a bag full of really dirty nickels. That's what you've got.
More like 3-cent pieces. Yeah,
I was trying to be generous.
Yeah. You got
there's some 38 Super in there.
Yeah. So, and then the last cool thing about the Nationals was I bought a Kui. I don't know if we talked about this or not.
What?
Did we talk about this?
Well, you bought the Kui in Quebec City. Did
Yes.
you buy another one?
No. So we did talk about this.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we saw any pictures though.
No,
okay. Well, so here it is. It's still early in the crossover between Winchester and Cooey, because it says Cooey 84 on one side like that and Winchester on the other side. But the handguard, the stock is Cooey and dark wood, traditional, typical Cooey. But then the handguard is that light colored, checkered, and plastic, typical of the 840. So did this come like this?
And that is,
Or
I don't
Did
think
there-
so. Those are
maybe-
mismatched. No one's going to buy that off a shelf.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe the one that was on here originally got lost, and then somebody grabbed one off a Cooey 840 410. So anyway, it's got character, whatever. So
mix and
but
match.
problem is now I need 2 of everyone, right? I need all the straight up Cooey ones, and then I need the Cooey 84 Winchesters. So, and obviously they're not unobtainium. I've stumbled upon 2 already by accident. Of course, now that I'm looking for them. And Smoking Deal, it was $119, 15% off. So,
Mhm.
Yep, all good. Okay, so
before
got
you
home.
get off the before you get off the nationals, if I could just touch on a couple things. One thing that I found really interesting. Yeah, okay, these are all the best shooters in Canada, and some from the States and that kind of thing, right? There's a couple. There's still, even with all the competition, there's some big gulfs at the top of the rankings. Kind of interesting, like Classic, for example. Elias, he's got 100%. Next guy down, 93. The guy down, 91. Next guy down after that is 83. There's like some really big gulfs there. Open
Yeah,
Casey Eusebio had his way with it. He's 100. Next guy's 95. Next guy 92. After that 84. Like there's like of the top shooters.
Yep.
They're like another level. Like
Killed
the top
it.
top
They killed
ones.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
they absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
Production was no different.
Yeah. Production
We-
100%, 93, 84, 80. Like there's basically
Like we have a small number of Canadian shooters who can compete internationally. That's just the way it is. Case in point, in 2017, the Canadian Nationals were held in Calgary. Ben Steger came to the match, and he destroyed everyone except for one open shooter who was not Canadian. So every cock of the walk open shooter from all the big sections, British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, who walk around and dominate our matches and walk with that swagger in their step, were blown out of the water by a dude with a production gun.
Yeah.
Shooting minor.
Hwansik Kim was there, and he was shooting production optics.
He was. So
100%
I watched
to 87 on production optics. Whoa.
Yeah, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. This dude's amazing. For those of you that don't know, he's one of the hosts over on Ben Steger's show, Practical Shooting After Dark. He was a like professional gamer when he was living in Korea, and then came to the United States and got into guns. And then look at him now. He's shooting a steel frame Walther, production optics. The stage that I was working, good times were very high teens to low 20s. It was one of my better stages, actually. There's a couple of stages where I finished in the top 10 of my division, and I think that was one of them. He did it in 16 and change. These guys never stop working. Their feet are always going. They just pour themselves over the stage like liquid. They flow. Like Bruce Lee said, man, be like water, flow. They don't stop for nothing. They're always moving. There's no second guessing the shots. They know the 2 rounds are on the paper, and they just move. It's just incredible to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, another level, man.
Yeah,
It'd be
it's just
good
kind of
to-
interesting, right? Because you think of like Grandmasters, and that's like 95 and up, right? Grandmaster. So it's like, okay, there must be a lot of guys that are competing for that, like a couple percent to the top. It's like, not really. there's people at the top who are fairly dominant of their division.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
It would be good to see videos of his stages, though.
are you talking about Kwanzaa Kim?
Yep.
He's got
Yep,
him on
it's
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
is Casey.
Yeah.
And Jesse Harrison.
Yep.
So that was the other thing too. Apparently we weren't allowed to take a video and post it.
You were
But
supposed to get it checked first?
We
Or
weren't
just
supposed
not?
to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it did.
I
I saw a video.
Yeah, well, I was told in person by someone from IPSC Canada. But it was never published in any match documentation. There were no emails, nothing. So it's like they had no control over it. If they didn't want the videos posted, they had to make that crystal clear in the beginning. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's out there now. I'm sure the Quebec CFO is going to pinch a fit. Here's something interesting.
What's he going to do
Okay.
about it? It's a military
Nothing
range.
he can.
Okay, well he can always harass them when they want to put on matches. He can harass clubs about IPSC. Like this guy, the Quebec CFO, followed IPSC Quebec to Ontario when they held their provincials there, and then like gave them crap over it.
Yeah, you mentioned on the last show that they've got a real.
You know what occurred to me, and I'm glad it didn't occur to him. He could have canceled our ATTs, and here's why: our restricted firearms are allowed to be transported from our home to an approved shooting range, approved by him. He didn't approve the range that we shot at. This was a military range. It's not held to his standard whatsoever. He actually could have canceled the ATTs and said, sorry, boys, I didn't approve that range. I can't let you shoot. You're restricted there. Wow.
There's special ATTs to bring your restricted to.
Who gives them to you, Kelly?
The
Who gives them to you?
CFO.
Right.
Yeah.
CFO doesn't have to do what the CFO doesn't want to do. If this guy wanted to, he could have just ruined the Nationals. But anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't look good though for him.
Oh, yeah, he would have been taken to court like
Yeah, he's
by everybody.
a
Right?
politician.
He's a bureaucrat.
Okay, yeah. Better.
So anyway, that's it for Nationals. Monday, I hit the range with my M14, my M1 Garand in 303, and my yes, thank you, and my WK. I finally had some shoot and see targets, big suckers. I was gonna, get those things zeroed. So no problem. M14, stupid accurate with Norinco steel case bulk, produced in 1991. Ammo, stupid accurate. Like it was holding 2 to 4 inches. And I will take that with iron sights out of a Norinco M14 clone with bulk steel case ammo all day, every day. The Garand couldn't seem to get it on paper. All right, went back the next day and tried again. Put the Garand. Did I put the Garand? Yes. Then I put the Garand on. I went to 20 yards just so I could see where it was hitting. Realized my aperture in the back was really low, which meant the rounds are going really high. So I think I was literally shooting over top of the target stand at 100. So I got that all sorted out, right? The elevation knobs won't stay locked in. So shoot a couple of rounds. Yeah. So it's like, all right, with this rifle, when it's on 2, it's 0 to 100. With the Garand, when it's on 6, it's 0 to 100. And the lines line up perfectly. Shoot a couple of rounds, look down, it has moved on me. Put it back, shoot a couple of rounds, it has moved on me. Okay. And I also shot my soon-to-be Outlaw Precision rimfire rifle, my Ruger 1022. I zeroed that with CCI standard at 100. Shot really, really well. And then all the guys were like, no, you want to do 50. Do 50. Not 100, do 50. So anyway,
You weren't asking me if I recommended zeroing at 100, did you?
I asked you what distance.
I see. I said it's max 100.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be wasting time and money until I replace the scope. That 2 to 7 crossfire scope is not what I need for this.
You need a longer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm going rifle scope. I don't know, first focal plane, second focal plane, but 6 to 24. Like I'm going crazy.
For Outlaw?
Yeah.
You don't need a 6 to 24, but like a little
there's
bit
a
more.
steel. Okay, slow your roll. There's a steel plate. There's a steel plate that's the size of my fingernail. It's a quarter of an inch. Like I ain't hitting that with a 7 power scope.
That's to know your limits, but you're only shooting out to 100 meters. Come on.
Come on, what? Why not a 6 to 24?
All you need is even just a 3 to 9.
Oh, are you nuts?
No.
Nobody is winning is shooting a 3 to 9.
That's all you need.
Talk sense. That's not what you need. Nobody's shooting. Okay, name me 5 guys at one match is shooting a 3 to 9, Kelly, and then I'll buy one.
Bolivar?
What? Bolivar shot a rimfire precision?
No, he shot the regular precision.
To further distances, actually.
Yeah, with a 3 to 9.
With tiny little plates?
Well, they're
Bigger.
tinier out to 300.
Look, right now I feel like you're telling me not to spend money, and I'm a little offended. I'm a little, frankly, I think, like,
Fill your boots. If
Stay
you
in
want
your
to
lane.
spend, if you want
Yes,
to spend money,
I do.
I'm just saying, if you're shooting outlaw, you're wasting your money. If you're shooting out to regular precision, then go to 24, but you don't need it out to. You don't need a 24.
all right. What about a Diamondback then? That's 44 objective, adjustable objective, and is 16 power.
Totally,
Can we?
totally the way to go. 4 to 16,
Thank you, Adriel.
Diamondback.
Billy, why do you hate me so much? I don't understand.
First focal plane if you can, and
Okay.
4 to 16 would be just perfect for that kind of thing.
I almost detect a hint of sarcasm from you right now, Whitey.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I've got one that I'm going to try to sell you. This is a pure sales shtick right now.
Oh, you're Diamondback.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I'm describing a scope I have in my possession.
The one it's the one he just won.
Right, the Vortex Diamondback.
Yes, it is.
Seems to me I may have already asked you if you're interested in selling that.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
dude, that'll look great on my 1022.
Mhm.
It would just, right?
Yeah.
For sale. Anyway, so I shot a lot of rimfire, had a lot of fun with that. The WK, I just grabbed all my mags out of the cupboard that were like loaded with 5-round mags, loaded with 5 rounds. Tried to get a 100 meter zero. Not super impressed. I know there was a mixed bag of ammo in there. I'm going to go back and use my hand loads. It's 55 grain Can Pro. It's loaded with 26 grains of H335. It's pretty snotty, and I'll try and zero it with that. It wasn't doing like with my Strike Eagle 1 to 6, maybe 4 inches.
Ooh.
Not
No,
impressed.
that's not good.
No, I know I
try
can
better
do better.
ammo.
Yeah. So
Anyway, I told you I was getting like 1-inch groups with mine, right? With just like commercial, good commercial ammo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try again. So back to the M14 and in the M1 Garand. I left the range, contacted Chris Bay. He's like, "There's a screw on the side used to disassemble and reassemble the sights. Tighten that down."
Mm-hmm.
So I tightened it down all the way until it was like actually rotating the dial. Like, it's bottomed out. Can't do no more. Back to the range for the 3rd day in a row with both these rifles, and no bueno, man. No bueno.
So
wouldn't stay.
they're fiddly trying to tighten correctly. You need to correctly tighten both sides, and it's real weird. It's a real weird way of tightening that thing. But if you say it's moving on you, you can't actually tighten it all the way down. If you tighten it all the way down, it won't work properly. But check out a YouTube video about like installing or tightening an M1 Garand sight, because it's weird. I can tell you that the rear sight's weird on them.
All right. Well, before I go drop like $250 a piece on National Match spec sights, I'll double check to make sure that they are in fact assembled correctly.
Yeah.
And go from there. Because you're right. On the other side, there's another screw that you can tighten.
Yep.
So maybe that's what I need to tighten down. I totally forgot about that. Didn't even think to check it.
That'll be. I was waiting in case you had like the story about how you fixed it. But if you didn't fix it, then they're fiddly. Watch a YouTube video and you'll have to tighten both sides.
All right, cool. So I'll get back to that. It was just nice, man. Like, I'm home from Nationals, and I got a match tomorrow night. But I had a few days, and it was cool. Like, Christina's family, her separatist family from the other side of the river, they came to visit, and I can't be here when they do because someone's going to die. So typically when they come to visit, I'm out of the house. Unfortunately, I just got home from Nationals, and she's like, pack your shit, get out. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, they're coming. I'm like, fine. This will be fine. I'll call other Trevor, and I'll crash on other Trevor's couch for him, probably eat some fried chicken, drink some liquor, watch Netflix. It'll be great. So all those things happen. And then the next morning she goes, oh, sorry, they're staying. It's like, I didn't even pack a toothbrush. What do you mean they're staying? So when they left to go like on a picnic or some such thing, I drove up home, got some more guns, got some more ammo, got a toothbrush, went back to the range. It was great. I just did like Netflix and range. It's kind of like Netflix and chill, but you're by yourself. There's no lube. And just went from Trevor's to the range and shot a bunch of guns and stuff. It was
I like that your supplies that you needed for surviving for a longer period of time involved more guns and ammo.
And a toothbrush.
And a toothbrush.
And a toothbrush. Yeah.
You always need a toothbrush.
Right. Otherwise,
whatever. It's the range.
people in the range wouldn't talk to me. So, Anyway, then my rings that I bid on and was successful at the charity shoot from Alberta Tactical. They arrived with an awesome swag package. So check, yeah, follow me on Instagram and you can see the post. They sent me all kinds of stuff. So here's my hat that I'm wearing. Yes, thank you, Kelly. And yeah, a T-shirt and some patch stickers, all that good stuff. And the rings, unfortunately, are too high, much too high for my liking. So I tried to get a cheek weld and open my eye and all that stuff, and it's like more like a teeth weld instead of a cheek weld.
Which rifle are you putting that on?
It's for my Stag 10, and it's for a Viper HST.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 44 millimeter objective, and they sent me their ultra high rings.
Yep.
And they're too high.
Ultra high, like that's the height you should need on an AR, though. You need like a.
Why do I need?
Weird. Well, it's you don't need it. You don't need it. Let me rephrase. Right. It's a standard optic height on an AR is quite high.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny that
who made this standard?
The Army.
Well, the Army's dumb. You see how low I got my optics? Like I'm using like mediums or low on my SLR, same as on my WK. They pushed up my hair.
You're using mediums or lows on your SLR and WK?
Watch this, man. Watch this.
He's going to get him.
He doesn't have a cheek. He's cheekless. That's the problem. Did you have like surgery when you were younger and you got hit in the face and you removed your cheek?
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. That's very low.
See? Normal.
Yeah.
Right? Can you see how I'm,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you got a cheek weld.
Yep. Here's my SLR.
Really low.
Huh.
All right.
That's surprising.
Okay, do it again. Let's see you. Talk.
What do you mean talk? What do you want me to say?
There
right. I got to have my yap going out the camera on me.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So.
That's a really low.
Well, these are hunting rifles, and I don't wear hearing protection when I hunt, so I'm not worried about it pushing up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And even in like a 3-gun or whatever, maybe I'll switch to foamies or something for these guns. I
wear foamies. I wear foamies even with the higher optic on my rifles.
Really?
I don't like. Well, if you don't double up, and you put your cheek down on a rifle, I find I'll make a crack.
It creeps.
Yeah, it'll creep and it'll let a little bit of air in, and then might as well just ditch them and go.
Not have anything, right? Yeah.
Now
so this is my STI.
There's a standard height optic mount.
Yeah. Sure, and I'll go with that, but no higher than this. And those ultra highs were just too high, man.
They can't be higher than that though, because
yes.
Really?
Yeah. Look, I will Facebook you the pictures right now in our Slamfire group.
I believe you. I'm just,
No, you started it. Now I have to share the pictures.
I don't believe you, then. I
didn't think you
don't
did.
even want pictures. I want you to get a caliper out and prove it on air.
Well, that's not possible because I took the scope off.
Well, you can measure
the
space between the pick rail and the...
us photos.
Yeah, of course I did.
As we're doing the show. Oh.
That makes for good radio.
I know. Everybody, right? What do we look at?
Well, you can. I don't know.
Holy crap!
Right? See how high that is?
Is that? That might even be higher. I guess ultra high isn't like a regulation height, right? Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, are you going to send it back?
When you get like your 20 to 60 or 20 to 50 by 60, you'll have the right rings for it.
Yeah, I've been talking to ATRS Sean, and it looks like
Good
hold on. Adriel is Owen is sending me a message. He's trying to be a type of giver that gives you something and then asks for it back.
Oh.
That's very PC of you.
That's Aboriginal. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, this is bad for you.
Are you doing your thing or?
No, I'm not done my thing. But we're gonna move along here. Okay. So Then I got an EGW rail to put on my 4570. So after the show, I will probably go mount that, provided I have the rings that are low enough. I'm going to. I don't remember buying rings when I bought the scope. I think I've got enough rings here. If not, I know Denis has some at the shop. Speaking of the shop, Denis hired me back on. He's going to put me on the payroll officially so that I can be covered under his business license to transport firearms to and from the shop, not have to worry about that. Yeah, so after the show tonight, I'll mount that EGW rail on my 22-250, on my 4570, and mount my Diamondback scope on there. And then, so even though it's not in my possession yet, I've got a Howa 22-250 on layaway at Denis. And while I was there today, I noticed that he had EGW 20 MOA rails in stock, one piece. There's nothing on the receiver right now, not even those little two-piecers. So purchased that, threw that on the rifle, or should I say added it to my layaway bill.
On your 22-250?
Yeah, I bought
Why'd you opt for a 20 MOA rail on that? Like, are you going to shoot really long range with that thing?
No, man, it was just, that's what he had,
That's
right?
what,
So,
yeah.
But it's weird. It says 20 MOA, but it cants forward. I thought 20 MOA would cant up.
No, because, like, you want... Here, I'm going to just change the focus to me for a second here. Your scope's going to be looking down. Your barrel's going to be pointing up, right? So that's going to give you more distance when your scope points down.
Okay, that's how they work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and I got the squibs out of my barrel. This was the coolest thing ever.
So how'd you do it?
Well, kind of a little bit like what Adriel suggested, and Adriel sent me some videos to look at. And honestly, Adriel, I never looked at them. I understood. Okay, plug the barrel, fill it full of grease, and the hydraulic pressure pushes the bullets out. So remember, there's two in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they were probably right on top of each other, one after the other, just at the edge of the chamber. So I took a 30 cal flash hider, just a regular birdcage flash hider, cut the birdcage off. Then Denis threaded it, and Muffin gave me a grease nipple.
Yep.
And we screwed that in there, but there wasn't enough meat. There was only like one thread, so he welded it all around. And then we put Teflon tape. Oh, yeah, it looks horrible, but dude, trust me.
It works.
Oh, yeah, it worked great. So then we put Teflon tape on the threads on the muzzle.
Yeah.
The trick is you don't start pumping grease down your bore.
Put oil first.
You put oil first. You fill the entire thing up with oil, and then you put the cap on, and then you start applying the grease. We broke one grease gun. I mean, it was crazy. Like Kelly, I was like, oh, like Hulk, oh, it's crazy. Try and get this thing to work. So I broke the grease gun because Mongo tight. So Denis went to get another one of his father's grease guns. This one didn't have the right fitting for the nipple that we had. So Joey talked himself into a job, right? He's like, well, I've got a grease gun at home. It's electric. It's this, it's that, blah, blah. Go get it. Why are you bragging about this wonderful tool? You have this great tool. Get in the truck. Go get it. Okay, I'll probably be like 15 minutes. You're still here? Like, go get it. Go on. So he come back and put it on. And once it was on and we held it straight so that we didn't like lose a lot of grease, it was like tick, 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 book. We actually like heard them come out. Unfortunately, they didn't go flying across the room. We watched one video. This guy had a stuck cartridge, complete cartridge, Lopua brass, brand new barrel. He thought he had a piece of resized brass. He didn't. He chambered it into the chamber and it got stuck. He beat on it, pushed the bullet into inside the chamber. Now there's the bullet, the gunpowder, everything. Mm-hmm. When he did it, he actually got so much pressure built up that he popped the primer out of the cartridge and the case didn't move. It stayed stuck in the chamber. Wow. Yeah. Well,
did he use air or grease?
Grease and oil. He did the oil, then the grease, right?
Yeah.
Adriel, when this thing came out, it flew across the room, hit the wall in a splatter of oil, and dented a perfect indent of the cartridge in the sheetrock. You could pick it up and like place it in its silhouette. It was crazy. Yeah. Lucky he didn't take out his phone because he was videotaping.
That's weird, right? Because usually hydraulic is super controlled, right? Like grease doesn't compress. So when you put pressure on that thing, it moves whatever the thing is. And it's not like springy like air is.
No, man. It blew across the room.
Sweet. Too bad that didn't happen.
Yeah, right? We went outside because we were expecting a hole in the wall and we didn't want to make a mess.
And all it did was just went flop.
Ba-doop.
Yeah.
Cool.
It
Yeah.
might be because there was 2 of them in there, though.
I don't know.
Maybe you guys probably did a better job of getting the air out and the oil in.
Possibly.
Yeah,
You
maybe the
know,
other guy
like
didn't
we did
quite-
have an air pocket and stuff, and we let it
Yeah.
work its way out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to go to the range tomorrow with the other Trevor. He's going to sight in his FX9. I'm going to sight in my FX9 because I took the optics off and stuff. So I'll zero it again. And I don't suspect any damage whatsoever. Everything in there looks really good. Oh, the other cool thing was I didn't end up with a bore full of grease. The oil came pouring out the back.
Yeah.
The grease stayed compacted at the front,
Mhm.
and I just took a cleaning rod and a jag, and I pushed, and the grease came out
Almost
with no,
like
like squeezing a tube of toothpaste. It just came out perfectly, and it was like it was never in there. There was no trace of it in the bore whatsoever. It cleaned up so
Okay.
quickly, so easily.
Sweet.
Did you put a bore light through your rifle just to see what?
Or like a pick to see if it's
Yeah.
bulged at that spot?
Yeah.
No, I just held it up, looked at the light, and it looks fine.
Oh, that's good enough. I'm sure that's what a gunsmith would do.
Oh, I
It
should look
can't-
so
there's
to
just-
me.
There's just no way it could bulge. There's just you're talking
Trevor, I don't know if I would do any differently.
right.
I know
Well,
what you're
there's no-
supposed to do. I
Sure.
don't know if I would do it.
You're talking about subsonic 9mm ammunition that's loaded for a pistol going out a rifle, and
Yeah.
2 rounds barely left the chamber and stopped in the rifling.
Yeah.
Like there's no bulging. There's nothing. I'm not worried about that at all.
Cool.
Yep. All right. Who's next?
That would be Adriel.
That's me. Let's see. I finished with all the 22 shooting remaining for that big test that I'm doing. Now I have to measure 600 groups. So
Oh, jeez.
it might take me a while. Yeah. Let's see. I tested out. Oh yeah. I got show and tell here to.
You got ooh.
It's kind of interesting. This is an ISSC straight pull
Yeah.
gun. Yeah. Have you
That's
seen one
really
of these on the
cool.
line?
Yeah, I have. They're really cool.
Kind of neat. It's kind of like a complicated mechanism. It's really accurate. One of the
Didn't
interesting.
we have one of those in?
Drummer?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember.
Maybe
there was some
Not
kind
that.
of.
they're fast
Straight
enough.
pull
Like
thing.
it's definitely fast enough just to reload this thing. The mag is very tight in there. The trigger is really interesting on this thing because you like pull, and you're like, I don't feel anything. Oh, and it goes off. You don't feel that edge on it. So basically, you just keep the scope on and pull until it goes off, which is good and bad.
Whose is that?
My buddy Will's.
Tell Will that he's got poor taste in scope rings.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Thanks.
Excellent. I got fantastic accuracy out of this thing. At 50 yards, I was punching half-inch groups like nothing. Very easy. Anyways,
The action's easy too. So if you're running a bolt, it'd be
yeah, it's-
super easy.
yeah, very quick. Very very quick. What else did I do? I was out in Bonnieville and I was shooting there, and I ran into a listener, Adam, and he let me check out his Volquartsen Scorpion 22. Have you seen one of these? They're like a Ruger Mark. What's their pistol? Mark IV? Mark III?
Yeah.
Mark III? Like one of those on steroids, like gamer steroids, with like a comp and a red dot and all the things on it. And, and that was cool.
I haven't seen one of those.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like it?
Yeah. I don't know if I would get one like that because the grip on it was very much for like single-handed shooting. Like you put your right hand on it and it's like whoosh, and it's holding you in from everywhere, and you put your left hand, you're like, oh, there's nowhere to put this. It doesn't make any sense. So it's not like an IPSC gamer pistol, more like a standing, shooting one-handed kind of a pistol setup.
Yeah.
But you can shoot it both ways, and I think that if you were going to shoot rimfire challenge, steel challenge with a rimfire, I think that would be like a really cool pistol to use. He also showed me his Zev. I think it's an OZ9. It's the pure Zev pistol. Really good trigger on that thing. Really nice, and even the grip was really nice. But the only thing I didn't like was it just wasn't as heavy as a Shadow 2. Just can't get that weight in there of like a steel frame like the Shadow.
Do you know who's coming out with their own version of the Zev Glock pistol next?
Who?
Bull.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
They make 2011s, they make 1911s, they make open guns, and now they're coming out with their own Glock knockoff that's all Zevy.
Cool. Yeah, I mean
Very cool.
they're really interesting pistols. They're like that Zev Glock. All the controls feel fantastic. The grip feels fantastic. The trigger is really good on it too. So
I picked up the ones at the Calgary Shooting Center, and they were hit and miss. The Glock 17 one was good trigger. The Glock 34 one,
That's much.
just not adjusted.
Yeah.
They've got a fully adjustable trigger, so it probably just needed a little love.
Yeah, adjust and wear it in as well, probably. And then Adam let me know. He's like, "Hey, did you hear that Cold Lake Canadian Tire has a deal on ammo?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I think I saw something like that on Reddit, but I don't know. I saw a price that was ridiculous, so I think they must have just mislabeled it." He's like, "No, it's a really good price." So I went out there, and they had Federal Auto Match, those boxes of 325 rounds for $14.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's 4 cents a round. Which, on the best of days, you can get Remington Thunderbolt for that. But that's Remington Thunderbolt. Which is kind of smoky and dirty and, whatever. But, this Federal Auto Match for super duper cheap. So I bought a lot. I've got 4,000 some rounds now in my house. And that's going to be my 22 ammo of choice for the
next little while.
Yeah, for the next little while. That's what I'm going to use. Because I've got thousands of rounds of it. Let's see here. Yeah, good price. Shot the Maple Seed Challenge. The challenge target this month is like a standing square kind of a target. I
Every breath you take or something like that?
Yeah.
Every move you make?
Yeah. I shot it with
I'll be watching you.
the Marlin 795, and I had like that big banana mag on it, so I couldn't get my wrist right underneath it, and it's just got like a 1-4 scope on it. But that was all right. And then I shot it with my Nork, and I cleared it except for my last 5 rounds. And on my last 5 rounds, I have 2 that aren't in the 5 zone.
Yeah, they were all good targets, though.
No, yeah, I was happy with it.
Better than mine.
How were yours?
Unfired. It's almost like I didn't do it.
Unfired? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
0, I think, is the score. That
and here I was at the range 3 days in a row with a 22. Never even occurred to me.
You're going again tomorrow, are you not?
Oh yeah, but there'll be no time for that tomorrow.
It was good practice. Like the thing I noticed was chicken winging the trigger side arm. Really kept my horizontal from going side to side there. Made a big difference. It's not something I did before, right? I never shoot chicken wing, and doing that, it's like, oh yeah, I guess there's a reason why Maple Seed recommends this stuff.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it works. It makes a difference. And then I tested some. I got some Blazer 147 grain aluminum cased ammo. I tried that in my Shadow 2.
How'd that go?
The cases looked really dirty on the outside, and the ejection wasn't It was 100% reliable. I ran through 100 rounds of it, 100% reliable. The ejection wasn't fantastic, so I polished my chamber and called it a day. I just cleaned the chamber up really, really well on my handgun because I've got a 3-gun match coming up this weekend. So I gotta use the ammo I've got, and that's the stuff I've got. And then I've been like in Maple Seed sling mode here. I can grab this sling. I've been making a bunch of these. So this is just like a inexpensive loaner sling for Maple Seed, and I have made 30 of them so far. I'm gonna make another 30.
You just went and where'd you get the hardware?
eBay and Amazon.
Look at you go.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to make, and like this style, like there's some pros and cons to the nylon 1-inch style here, but about like $6 in equipment to make one of these.
Super cheap.
Yeah, yeah. So, so I've been doing that, learning how to stitch again because I think the last time I stitched anything was like home ec class when I was in high school.
You took home ec?
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
All the boys, all the smart boys do. So all the girls are. And you learn
And
how to and
I made
you learn how to cook
camo.
and sew.
What's that? Sorry, Kelly.
And you learn how to cook and sew. So what did you sew?
I don't know if I learned. I've
What he
forgotten all that
reaped.
stuff
That's
since.
what he sowed. He sowed what he reaped.
I
That's why he got stuffed
sewed.
in the lockers.
No, no. I sewed some camo seat covers for my Ford Tempo.
See? It
Uh,
worked.
yeah. Yeah, so I've been prepping for 3 guns, so I polish a chamber on my Shadow just to see if that makes a difference on that aluminum case ammo. I don't think it will. I think it'll still run, just like crappily ejecting, but who cares? I polished chamber on my AR and loaded up all my ammo and whatnot to get ready for my match. And after we're done this call today, I'm going to drive out to the meeting to go over stage designs and make any other tweaks that we need to do.
Cool.
One thing I noticed, Calgary 3 Gun on their Facebook group, they're talking about getting Alexander Burdett out to do a course out there. So I might go do that when he
You
does
would be
that.
smart to go and do that.
Yeah, like a good pistol course in September. That'd be really nice.
Hmm.
Yep. Other than that, yeah, that's it for me. Kelly, what about you?
So I was supposed to go shooting on the long weekend. I had actually planned it, but I didn't go. I went on an impromptu trek out down to Michigan, and I went to go and see my friend Stacy, or our friend Stacy, and Bill Wilson was there as well. So just let you know, if you're going to go on a long weekend, a Canadian long weekend, and cross the border in Detroit, just don't. The other thing is, don't go at 5 p.m. And when they say go through the tunnel because it'll be shorter, they lie to you. It's not. So just don't go and do that. But I had a good time. I spent a couple days down in Michigan, and I
Sounds
had
like it was a great trip.
it was. It was. Bill Wilson. He makes steaks like you wouldn't believe. These were the best steaks I probably ever had in my life. They were just delicious. So, and they're going to send me the seasoning, hopefully, so I can make the steaks here as well, because they were really, really, really good. And what else? I got in some stuff. Adriel, remember when I was at your place and you said you should get this laser pointer for the trainer rifles?
Finally came in.
So they came in.
There we go.
See? We got 2 of them. I got them yesterday. I got these as well. These are so these came on a slow boat from China. Took a month to get here.
Mhm.
I also got the Duracell batteries. So I put the batteries in, and guess what? They're the wrong size batteries.
Are those
So
CR2s?
yeah, these are the CR2s.
So you need 2 of them in there, right?
Yeah, I put 2 of them in, and it's still too. You need bigger batteries. These don't work in the slot.
Shouldn't. No, CR2's working in 18650.
Anyways, I tried it. Didn't work.
Well, give me a couple days and I'll figure out how to make it work. Maybe you need to like put a little bumper in there or something, or maybe you don't have them go. Do you have them aiming the right way?
Yeah, of course they do. They just you can go shake, 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 and they're
just
rattling
loose in
around.
there.
And
Huh.
yeah. So they're so we're gonna try. I have a couple other batteries that I'm gonna try. So
Okay.
we'll see if they work. But we have 2 of them in, so we can use them on, I don't know, a couple of rifles, whether it's here or one of the kits that you're building as well. So what else? I got some patches in the mail. Got those this week as well. I got the Wolverine Days, the 2019 patch. It was a really good cause. It was supporting Ronald McDonald House. There was everybody that was there as well. Tracy was there from the CCFR. Lots of things. I got one of those. And I also got the CCFR membership patch for 2019. But I didn't get to shooting. But I did get some really cool things in the mail. What else? Oh, I've been again, I keep talking about it every week, but the more and more I talk about it, the more and more ladies' days that are coming up. People are contacting me on Facebook. They're contacting me through my email. We have more ladies' days happening across the country. And if you want to host an event, just send me an email at kelly.wheaton@firearmrights.ca. We're going to actually have, I don't know, maybe 30 this year, which is a big jump from last year. So just to let you know, lots of ladies are getting to the range, lots of ladies are shooting. And that's it for me.
Cool. Alrighty, upcoming events. First up, CCFR / EOSC. What's that, Kelly? What's the EOSC?
Eastern Ontario Shooting Club.
Cool. So that's the club that we'll be hosting?
Yep.
They will be having a ladies' event happening on August 11th, so there's still time, at the EOSC range, which is just outside of Ottawa. Costs us $35. It will allow you to shoot pistols, ARs, shotguns, and rifles. There's also going to be giveaways and light refreshments on site. The event is almost sold out, but if you are interested, you can sign up for the available slots on Facebook or through Eventbrite, and we'll put that link in the show notes.
Update, there's 9 left. 9 spots
There's
left.
9 spots. All right. But again, still time, couple of days. Drumheller District Shooters Association is also hosting a Ladies' Day event on August 24th. Shooting is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be giveaways and lunch provided. The cost is $50, and you can email DDSAS. So it's DDSA Shooters. DDSA Shooters @gmail.com for more details. You do not need a PAL to enter either of these events. One-on-one instruction will be provided at each of the events as well. So don't feel intimidated. Go on out and give it a try.
Yep.
News. Toronto weekend gun violence frustrating, angering, and sad, says Tory whatever. Adriel, did you put that in?
Yeah, this is coming out of the center of the universe, Toronto. And Mayor John Tory, Mayor of Canada.
Right, Canada's mayor.
Yeah, Canada's mayor. My mayor. He said it's very frustrating. We're trying to do a lot, and he really wants handguns and assault weapons banned.
Well, the man's an idiot. He wants what won't solve the problem. He knows full well that the shootings are taking place by criminals, are the ones responsible for the shootings. They're already not supposed to have guns. Essentially, guns are already banned to these individuals. So, well, hey, can we make murder even more illegal?
Double illegal.
How would that be?
No.
Right? Let's make murder double illegal and see if that makes people stop killing. Tory, you're an idiot. Stop asking for things that don't matter and aren't going to work.
Well,
moron.
What's funny is that he criticized Olivia Chow, I think. I don't know. I'm not from the center of the universe, so I'm not sure about the local politics. Yeah, well, Kelly, why don't you go ahead?
Well, no, I was just going to say Olivia Chow is the NDP candidate for I can't remember which riding.
I think she was running for mayor at one point.
She was.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did she say that he's critical of?
She was running on banning handguns, and he's like, that's
politics.
Yeah.
Pandering.
Yeah.
Pandering.
Yeah, politics.
I'm so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. Every time there's a shooting, we need to ban handguns.
Well, I mean, there were no licensed handgun owners that made any of these shots in Toronto.
You know what I'm going to do?
Yep.
I'm going to do my part to prevent rape by cutting off my dick next time somebody gets raped, even though I didn't do it. Okay. I'm probably also, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sell my minivan to stop drinking and driving, and I'm gonna cut up my credit card to help reduce Canadians' debt load.
That probably would work, though.
A little bit. You would do your part.
I was doing so good too. I just should have quit at the dick. Man. All right, moving on.
One thing that they mentioned in there, and I saw it mentioned a couple of times in Reddit and a couple of other forums, is people making reference to gun culture. So, talking about, like, now when you guys think about gun culture, you probably think of competition culture, right? Culture in maple seeds. No, what do you think?
Nope. As a Canadian, yeah, that's right, Kelly. Heritage. Like, Canadians have a rich heritage that involves hunting and the outdoors, hunting and fishing. And when I think of gun culture, I think of a father teaching a son to shoot, going hunting. Because we're Canadian and we're an outdoorsy kind of country, I actually put sport shooting last in my thoughts on gun culture.
Kelly?
When they're talking about gun culture, they're doing a more of a, dare I say, an American style gun culture, whereas everybody's entitled to guns and people are not trained and to use them. Yeah,
Well,
they're doing it a little different than.
Yeah, there's actually a couple different takes that they have on it, because some of them were talking about gun culture in Canada even, but that really what they were talking about was gang gun culture.
Yeah.
So I think, that's one thing that's kind of troubling to me is that every once in a while one of these phrases gets co-opted or taken over, or the meaning becomes twisted. Assault weapons, for example, doesn't mean anything, but they're using it to mean something.
It's a new catchphrase.
And gun culture I can see as one of those things becoming that. So I guess like one thing that everyone who's listening should do is try to use gun culture in a positive way and use that phrase, and maybe we can stop it from becoming synonymous with gang culture early on.
We're going to take back the word gun culture.
Take it before it even goes. That's the right time to take it.
My culture includes guns.
Well, it's a horrible phrase like if they managed to use it in this way, it would be really terrible doublespeak.
You know what? If the left wasn't just so cowardly, this wouldn't be a problem. They don't want us to have guns because they're scared of guns. That's it. That's all. That's why they tell lies and push propaganda.
Well, it's a public good versus personal freedom trade-off as well.
Yep.
Look, if I thought a handgun ban would stop people from getting shot in Toronto, I'd drive mine over to the RCMP station now, because people's lives are more important than my guns. But my guns and my actions are not causing those deaths in Toronto, so I ain't going to give up my stuff. Well, and giving up my stuff is not going to stop the shootings in Toronto.
You really can't take that stance either, because, give up your car, because there's car accidents, and there's a non-trivial amount of people who die of car accidents every day, and you can Uber, or you can take the bus or ride a bike or something like that, or you can telecommute, right?
Well, even if I gave up my car, everybody else isn't, right?
Well, they should too.
No,
everyone should give up their car.
But even if every law-abiding gun owner in the world turned in their guns, it would not stop gun violence, because gun violence is not being perpetrated by the law-abiding gun owner. Anyway, I'm tired of it.
Indeed.
Broken record.
Indeed.
Let's go on to the next
new gun stuff. Or are we doing this BBC infographic thing?
We could. It's I personally, it's again, like if you want to talk about really, here, I'll pull it up on screen. You guys won't be able to see it.
How fast can weapons fire? Approximate rates of fire of selected weapons. So a revolver, 20 rounds per minute. It's
pretty quick. It's pretty quick for a regular person. It's incredibly slow for a Jerry Miculek.
Yeah, exactly.
That's under 5 seconds.
This is ridiculous. A modified semi-automatic assault weapon, up to 1,200 rounds per minute.
Yeah.
No.
You got to reload it between there, right?
Fully automatic, yeah.
A fully automatic is only 950, but man, a modified semi, 1,200 rounds.
AK-47 only 120. Pretty slow. Those AK-47s are
stupid. Who made this graphic?
The BBC.
BBC.
Oh,
but don't worry. The BBC made the graphic, and look at their source of research on it. Don't worry. They were very impartial. Their source was BBC.
BBC research.
They sourced themselves.
Wow, man.
Source me.
Yep, because I said so.
Yeah. Listen to me.
Semi-automatic pistol, Colt Model 70, and they actually have a silhouette there of a SIG.
Yes.
Idiots.
Yes.
Idiots. I'm tired of it. God, I'm so tired of it.
Cool. All right. I want to get some cool stuff then.
All right. So you like this thing? New gun stuff? The GSG 16, now with a 110 round mag, because screw you, that's why.
So I don't know if I'm going to get. I'm not going to get one, but there are a lot of people who are really excited about it. So that's the only
Squire
reason I'm
wants
pulling this
one.
up. They're bringing thousands of these things into the country. Blue Line posted on CGN. They're bringing in 3,000 or so. So yeah, they're coming in, and
Yeah.
they've got a 110 round drum mag, and it's $100.
Yeah.
There's a drum mag for the Marlin that is 75 rounds, and it's $160.
Yep.
But this is
Dang.
just cheaper. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm not sure about reliability when you run that many 22 rounds in a drum, but it's $100.
Yep.
Yeah, but if it's not reliable, it's 100 wasted bucks.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool looking, right? It looks like an MP5 with a suppressor on it.
Yep.
But not like an MP5 enough, because the previous one, the GSG5, looked too much like an MP5 and was prohibited because it was an MP5 variant.
No, it
And
wasn't.
It was prohibited though.
Yeah, but not because just like the AK-47 Blaze, right?
Or
Literally,
the Jaeger and yeah.
Plankster wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
Uh,
Next one.
Troy.
Hey, we finally got some pictures.
AR
Before this was
102.
this was just like a design, and now it's real. Now it's a real gun.
Oh my god!
Real gun.
So it's an NEA.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yes.
So BCL sold it to Troy.
No. NEA and BCL separated. NEA retained the rights
Right.
over the designs. NEA licenses the design to BCL. NEA also
Oh.
licensed the design to Troy.
You don't believe any of that, do you? That's all paper stuff. That's all stuff
Wow.
on paper.
That's a story and whatever.
You're
That's what
sticking to
that's
it.
what they're saying.
Whatever.
Anyways, Troy's making one, and it's made by Troy. It's got the letters on the butt. See, Troy. So
Troy.
yeah,
It-
maybe
Okay.
it'll be good.
So do you think they're going to be reliable? Do you think
Well,
that
if it's
they're
actually NEA's design uncucked by Troy, it should be
It'll be
okay,
fine.
right? I mean, it's Troy. Has
yeah.
Troy put out a bad product? Not that I'm aware of. I'm not saying they didn't. Maybe they did, but not that I'm aware of. So if you want to get a
Interesting.
BCL 102, buy the one that Troy made.
Or just get
It
a
is-
flag. 'Cause
yeah.
it's pretty close in price.
I find that interesting who posted this, by the way.
So do I. I thought he was done with. Wasn't he done with NEA?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
No, it's
Very.
not a choice.
You need to pop in there on your annual Saturday and get the lowdown.
Yeah.
Just channel your inner Trevor and go be nosy.
Okay.
Don't be Kelly. Be Trevor.
Be Trevor.
Ask the tough
Okay.
questions.
So tell me, what's
Yes.
going on with Troy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Next one?
So this next one,
It's a
TACORG,
big
which
old
is a
break.
company out of Toronto or Ontario that makes all kinds of cool shotgun stuff. They kind of cut their teeth turning Versamaxes into 3-gun shotguns.
Mhm.
Are now producing a cool muzzle brake for the F12.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna tune the F12s because the F12s are like the open shotgun of choice.
This is
in
it.
Canada.
I mean, like if you might as well shoot a revolver if you're shooting a magazine tube fed shotgun now.
Mhm.
You're gonna get left behind. Ooh, you can quad load. Super dude. Look at me changing mag. Your quad loading is now stupid,
It
and
is
only
for
5
open.
of you can do it.
Adriel, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I'm not shooting open, and I agree. The open guys are beating me.
Yes.
They didn't before. It didn't matter before when they had 5-round mags, but now they're beating me fairly easily.
Yes.
Okay.
Even still, if you can change a mag with 5 rounds, it's faster than putting 4 into a pipe.
Nah, I whip all those guys with 5-round mags.
Well,
Not with more. Not with
I don't
10
know.
or 15.
They suck. I don't
10
know.
or 15 and I lose.
Yeah. All
Next
right.
one.
So TACORG, get your Typhoon Canadian-made muzzle brake, which
Yep.
is like 3 days long. It looks huge.
They have to be huge. There's not much gas at the end, and they have to
Nope,
like
that's
capture
right.
as much as possible. Yeah,
Yep.
make it work.
So just do like open guns are tuned for the comp. You got to put as much gas through that comp as you can, or the comp is useless. So same thing. Start making your own shotgun ammo, and just make some really snotty 12 gauge loads and see if it gets on the comp better.
I mean, if we had shotgun IPSC, maybe.
We do.
Yeah.
The Nationals are in Ontario in September.
Okay, but I mean, if we had it like as a real sport in other areas, that would be like, you might get that crazy.
Yes, only I'd have to look at the rules because I know there's rules on comp size in IPSC. Well, there
Probably
is in
have rules on
USPSA
mag
too. But
size too. They probably have rules on mags that would keep you from doing anything fun.
no,
IPSC's
no,
like
they're going to
that.
let whatever's legal in the match this fall.
Oh well, can I do that in pistol? No. Okay.
No, because there's an exemption for 10 rounds in Canada.
Yep.
So, same thing.
You remember
Did you,
those,
since we're talking about shotguns,
Yeah.
did you guys hear that the RCMP snuck a little something into the FRT with regards to the Versamax?
No.
Yes.
If you have a Versamax, it doesn't matter if it's chambered in 3.5. It has to be restricted to 5 rounds of 2 3/4. It's
Correct.
in the FRT.
Yes. I think
And
it's
they
only
didn't tell
one
anybody.
version of the Versamax, though.
Only one version.
Yeah, I don't think it's for all of them, but I did.
This is
hear
even
that.
stupider. So they're making paper criminals again. They made a change to the FRT, didn't tell anybody.
Mhm.
Like ignorance is no excuse. Well, come on, man. Like I can't memorize the FRT. Like, stupid.
And some of these
Anyway.
laws are difficult to apply. The mag capacity laws are difficult to apply.
Well, listeners, if you have a Versamax, look up the FRT.
Mhm.
Find out who can get you a copy of it. Gun dealers can look at it and find out if your Versamax is the one that they say can only hold 5 of 2 3/4, even though the chamber says 3.5.
Do you wanna keep going on the
Yep.
paper criminals part? Because
Oh, sure. Okay.
the next one's
I'll tell you
paper
what, and move
criminals
on.
too.
Oh, the next one. Okay, so the
Yeah.
Elander magazine, 458 SOCOM, 10 rounds steel update. So this is for My Run Guns, and it says, we received confirmation from the lab, as in the RCMP lab this morning, that the Elander 458 SOCOM magazine are considered a NATO
Stanag.
What?
Stanag.
Stanag magazine and must be pinned to the smaller of the two calibers. Thus, to be compliant with the RCMP, these magazines be pinned to 5 rounds of 223, or roughly 2 rounds of 458 SOCOM. Please keep this in mind when purchasing these magazines. So they did it to the Beowulf. Now they're doing it to the 458 SOCOM.
Yep.
Now, Wolverine was just selling some 458 SOCOM. I wonder if it's the same mag, if it's also Elander.
As far as I know, it is.
Well, we're going to find out. All right, move on to the next one, Adriel, while I look this up.
All right. The next one is
The
the Iron Guns. Iron Guns is coming out with a. They've been teasing it on CGN that they're coming out with an AR-10 that's going to be non-restricted. And it's not going to be the same as anything else that's on the in the market right now. And one person noted that 3 days ago, or on Friday, whatever that day was,
Yep, Elander.
there was a new non-restricted AR-10 FRT published for a Matrix Aerospace M762D. So that might be the AR-10 that Iron Guns is going to be bringing in.
Interesting.
Yes, more competition, good. And you said that those
Yes.
Wolverine ones were Elander?
Correct. The Wolverine 458 SOCOM mag is Elander. Okay. DPMS Oracle. Ooh. So what do we got here, Adriel?
They're just inexpensive. They're
blowing them out.
DPMS Oracle for $629. That's very inexpensive for an AR.
It's NORC prices on a 100% American-made rifle.
Like the DPMS Oracle is the cheapest M4 you can buy, like American.
And it's not bad.
Yeah.
I believe there are cheaper AR-15s available stateside that we don't even hear about up here. But for one of the ones that we get,
$629.
$629.
Yep.
Yep.
And
That's
then
cool, man.
Dante's got the new Marlin Dark series lever guns, whatever. Those hoopy old cowboy kind of things, but they're black.
Loopy, not hoopy.
Hoopy. They got
Yeah,
both.
it's stupid. It's stupid. They got like a tactical handguard on them. Oh no, these ones don't even.
No,
I've
They're
seen
they-
just
some that-
dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
these-
It's a black rifle. Look at this one's got a threaded muzzle. Stop it.
You gotta talk like Batman if you buy one of these lever guns.
I'm Cowboy
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Cowboy Batman. I'm Cowboy Batman. Like my
My
coffee
back
dark.
is-
Oh
My bad.
God,
No?
you guys are hilarious.
My back is up in the mountains.
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, zing! Yeah, they even put paracord around the big loop lever. Why do people keep wanting to make like cowboy guns into tactical guns?
I think the gun
stop it.
manufacturers don't really know what people want, and they just randomly put products out there, and they're like, what if we take one of our cowboy guns and we put some M-LOK on the fore end, and we like lace up the thing with some paracord, and we make it black.
And we'll
What
put a
if?
rail. We'll put a rail that starts at the hammer and goes halfway to the front sight.
Muzzle brake? Why not? Put one of those on there too. See if people buy. Oh, no one bought it. Ah, well, back to the drawing board.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All of this badassery and 5+1 capacity.
Yep.
Oh, drop it on your toe. Stop it. All right, that moves us into our main topic, which I don't think we have, and we're running along anyway. So do we actually have a main topic?
No.
No.
All right. Is there anybody on the YouTube other than Luke Gooden talking?
Nope.
All right. So listener feedback, which is sponsored by DC Armory. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at www.dcgunsmith.ca. Also experts in using hydraulic methods of unsquibbing your barrel. Follow DC Armory on Facebook at facebook.com/Armory DC Gunsmith or on Instagram at /Armory DC Gunsmith.
I think that
Our first one comes to us from Greg. Greg says, "Good day. I'm a late onset listener of your podcast. I heard your show on the 100th anniversary of Cooey Firearms in Canada and reminded me that I have a Winchester 69A22 in my collection, but it did not come with a magazine. It shoots fine as a single shot, but of course it wasn't meant for that. I've sourced out a few places online, but by the time shipping and duty were added, it was well over $100 for the magazine. I can't justify that on a $100 rifle. Can you or Clayton from Cooey Collectors Group perhaps direct me to someone who might be able to get me a reasonable price? Thanks, Greg." Greg, my advice is to join the Facebook group on Facebook.
Facebook.
And post there, because who knows who's going to come out of the woodwork with one for you, maybe. But
they might
yeah.
know how to get cheaper ones into the country as well. Because I know that, minus 10 years ago or so, I'd go through Natchez, I think, in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm not sure who you'd go through these days. They like Natchez has I don't even think they're called Natchez anymore. They're called something else.
Yeah, you're not pronouncing it the way I pronounce it, but I can't remember how I pronounce it. But I still know what you're
Nachos.
talking about.
Nachos.
Numrich.
Numrich. Yeah.
Yep. I would
Nah.
try Great Western Gun Parts and that Facebook group. You should be able to find something there.
Numrich
So,
has more old stuff too. So
Yeah,
they're-
for
they're-
sure.
They're
Like,
good for that kind of
they
stuff.
carry Grand Parts, like all kinds of Grand Parts.
And like
So
weird stuff for like old cowboy guns that are like 200 years old. Yeah, they got a bunch of that stuff.
cool. Kelly, will you take the one from Roy, please?
Okay, it says, "Hey, girl and guys, just want to let you know that from the far off country of Belgium, that the last
They have
10
chocolate.
Yeah, they do have chocolate. It's very
I know
good chocolate.
stuff.
That the last 10 seconds of 308 podcast was the
303.
best. Sorry,
Yeah,
it is 303.
Yeah.
303 podcasts were the best I've heard in all my years of podcast listening. It was fine line. It was a fine line, but keep walking it, Roy.
What were we even talking about?
I actually went back and
I
listened.
went and listened to.
Do you remember, Kelly, what it was about?
It's about our Facebook likes and comparing it to an
Oh,
orphanage.
orphanages. Yeah. Yeah, it was some dark stuff there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome, Roy.
So at least some of our listeners really like the dark
Yeah.
side. I
Yeah.
can do the dark side.
I offered to cut my dick off tonight. I mean, it don't get darker than that.
Nope.
Just saying. All right, Adriel, carry on. Alex.
From Alex. Hey guys, let me get that on me. I currently been listening to older episodes of SFR to fill in the gaps between the most recent episodes. I heard an episode from last summer with Adriel, Kelly, and Brian about making most Albertan 3-gun stage using a mechanical bull as part of the stage. I never got to hear Trevor's opinion about it and whether it would work if safety wasn't a factor. Also, since there are a few non-restricted 223 black rifle upper-lower options available in Canada, I've been looking at getting one myself. I happened to notice that Franklin Armory makes a 17 WSM AR upper and has its own proprietary 20-round magazine. If a dealer were to import these into Canada and someone were to purchase the upper, transfer the internals to an ATRS Modern Sporter, would they supposedly have a legal NR Modern Sporting rifle that uses a 20-round mag and shoots projectiles at 3,000 FPS? I run guns. Please make this happen. Cheers, Alex.
Interesting. Okay. So, Alex, there's no sanctioned 3-gun matches in Canada. They're all outlaw versions
Bite
of something.
your tongue. There are 3-gun nation matches that are sanctioned in Canada. And
Sounds fun. Well, who
yes,
cares? That's awesome.
absolutely there are. There are UML sanctioned matches in Canada. There's one in Grand Prairie that's going to happen in a couple weeks.
Okay, what do you,
And-
Wow, we're coming out of those
You got-
dark ages.
you guys? He's asking about when we were talking about
He's asking, yeah, I know what he's asking,
making
Kelly.
the most Albertan 3-gun
And-
stage.
Right.
Which
So
would be
he asked
outlaw,
if it was-
right?
He asked if it was possible. So I'm speaking to the is it possible point with regards to the rules and what a sanctioning body will allow. May I continue?
Okay,
Thank you.
Please.
But what, Kelly?
I don't think he was asking if it was. He just wants to know what your opinion of it would be,
He
not
also-
whether it be legal. Okay, go on.
Would it even be possible, Kelly? Is the words that he used.
With safety is no. If safety wasn't a factor,
If safety wasn't a factor, would it even be possible? So, within the context of the rules, perhaps he means.
okay, maybe whatever.
It'd be tough to make it repeatable. Like the problem
Well,
with
you know what the argument there is, Adriel, and we had this come up in an IPSC match once. It's random for everyone.
if it was random for everyone, that's okay.
Yeah.
But not like random to the point where it's not a fair. It's not super fair anymore, right?
Well, I mean,
Well,
you know, like a wobbly bridge, a bridge that's suspended on four corners by chains.
Yep.
Well, you hit it one way, it moves one way for you. I hit it another way, it moves a different way for me. Right?
Mhm.
So should we toss that, right? So, I mean, as long as the speed setting, let's say it had a variable speed adjustment control, and you put it on medium for everybody, whatever, man.
Yep.
You know, safety aside, people have done stupider stuff in matches with guns. I don't think it's inherently unsafe, provided it doesn't actually throw the person off. You turn it way low, so it just makes you move around a lot.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, you,
know,
wouldn't want
I mean,
it to. You wouldn't want it to actually be a challenge
you.
to hang on. You want it to be a challenge to shoot from.
Yeah. So, in regardless of whether or not it was a sanctioned or an outlaw match, if the stages were submitted for sanctioning, I mean, IPSC's only problem would be like drawing a handgun while you're wobbling around this thing. But if it was a rifle or a shotgun, you would start, you know, in the low ready or the high ready,
Mhm.
facing down range. Somebody would hit the button and you'd start moving, and then they'd do the timer. Because it's already got to be moving to make sure it starts at the same time for everybody, right? So you would turn it
Right.
on and then say, "Are you ready? Stand by, beep."
Yep.
And have at it. I don't think it's undoable. I don't think it's impossible.
Impossible, I think, is the technical term there.
yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible. So, and on to the 17 WSM thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that the 20-round magazine would need to fit on your lower for your ATRS, and if the 20-round magazine fits in the lower, you're probably going to have the same thing happen what they're talking about with these other Stanag mags, where they're going to say, that's a Stanag mag, you can only have 5 in there because that's, or 5223 or whatever they're going to talk about, because it'll have to fit the mag well anyways, right?
Yeah, but you can get like my CGW. I think it's CGW. I'm not sure on that. Anyway, I've got Air 22 conversion kits. I've got actual mags that are molded plastic that are 22 cal that are 30 round capacity.
But those are fitting what? Are those fitting into the magwell by itself, or do you need to put something else in there?
No. They're the external dimensions of a 30 cal USGI mag or a 30 round USGI mag.
Well, maybe my point doesn't hold water then. I mean, Franklin Armory, I'm looking at their website right now. There we go. Here's they have a 17 WSM magazine for this thing as well. That'll hold 10 rounds. And it looks like they also have a 20 round mag as well. So
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, there's these things out there. So I mean, potentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also have for my like what you're showing right now. That's exactly what my 22 conversion kit is. So you get that, but in 17 HMR. I also have an insert that goes inside a USGI mag. So you take a full 30 round body, tear out the guts, and this insert fits into the. It's just a little 10 round 22 magazine that fits inside a 30 cal mag body.
That's interesting.
Keep a pop rivet in it anyway, because it's still a 30 round body.
Yeah.
And if you put the guts in, it's a prohib device. But
our magazine laws are so stupid.
They're beyond stupid. Yeah. So,
would you get one of these? I don't think I would, because if I'm going to do a modern sporter, I'm going to put it in 223, and 223 is like way more powerful than 17 WSM.
Yeah, but I love 17 caliber, right? So would I? It's not outside the realm possibility that I would do this. That I would make a modern sporter with a 17 HMR upper. Heck yeah, I would. Yep, that's something I would do. I mean, I've got an A17 and I've got other bolt action 17s, but if I could just run my modern sporter with 223, 7.62 by 40 WT, 17 HMR, right? Yes, please.
And a Stag for 308.
And a Stag for 308, yeah. Modern sporter and SLR for everything else. You guys, I didn't get to listen to last week's show. You talk about what Maccabee Defense is coming out with?
You bet we did. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. Stuff's getting expensive. I'm gonna have to put the Kui collection on hold. So, anything else before we move on?
Nope.
All right. If you would like to send us an email, you could do so by sending it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. All right, Adriel, will you take this podcast app review, please?
Where'd you guys take this up?
I don't know. Kelly found it and insisted that you had to read it.
Okay, one show that has it all. If you can think about it, the show has it. From Glocks to gardening, M14s to milk, and archery to AR-15s. They have an opinion on it. In all honesty, though, this show is a fantastic resource for Canadian gunnies, and the hosts are great at motivating listeners to get more involved in their sport. Listening to this podcast sure makes the drive into work fly by. That's from the Hunting Gear Guy via Apple Podcasts in 2015.
That's hilarious. Kelly, you just read Adriel's review of our show before he was a host.
Yeah.
You're the ultimate troll, Kelly. I love you.
There's another one I just posted here too. So I was looking at, this is an app that you can download all of your reviews. It's Apple, but we can look at all of our reviews going all the way back. So I was able to find Adriel's. Now I've also just posted another one on here as well. It's from Wes Stevens, and
this is the SummerSlam PCC champ. Remember,
right? This is appropriate for what we were talking about a little earlier today. So Trevor, you need to read this.
This podcast is now the Batman of Gun podcast. Both its parents, CRR and AMP gun dudes, are now gone, but yet they continue the righteous fight for what's good in the world. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. And Owen, Wes Stevens. We lost our parents. We're the Batman of podcasts.
Batman. We were talking about Batman. So as you guys were talking about Batman, I remember reading this and I copied it and pasted it in there.
Hilarious.
I think these are hilarious. We should go back and read these because they're freaking awesome.
And because we suck and no one gives us new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just relive past glories.
Okay. I think that, yeah, we can. We keep them up to date. Yeah.
Oh, Mailman NB's cracking me up on our Facebook or the live stream. He says, Dark Side, what did I miss? Is it revolution time? Yes, Mailman. Excellent. I'll get a babysitter and tell the wife I'll be out late. Love it.
It's not revolution time. The appropriate term is boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
Electric boogaloo, yeah.
Electric boogaloo. All right. Let's storm Area 51 while we're at it.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Somber moment now, I'm afraid, folks. A legendary gunny in New Brunswick passed today. Very sad moment for the shooters in the Hampton area and New Brunswick as a whole. Anyone who knew Austin McPhee, he touched their lives in a very meaningful way. He was a pillar in our community and in the Hampton community, not just the firearms community. There was a story. He was a listener. He went by Abman on a couple of different social media platforms and websites. Matthew stopped to help his wife change a tire one time. That ended up as show content. Only found out later it was Austin's wife. So Austin, longtime figure in the Ipswich community and the Hampton Gun Club, and my love goes out to all those guys in Hampton who knew him and worked with him, and of course to his friends and family. And rest in peace, Abman. You'll be sorry missed, brother. Adriel, you got any
shoutouts?
Yep.
Like not as touching as yours.
No.
Adam for the line on cheap 22 ammo.
Cool.
Yep.
And I have one. It's going out to Stacy and Will Bell. Love you guys. That's
yes. I will shout them out too. Thank you for taking care of our Kelly and getting her back in one piece. She went to Detroit. Never even
and survived.
And survived, yeah. So, Patreon supporters, no new ones this week, but we would sure like to add your name to the list for next week. Patreon is important. I know we suck at doing the extra bonus content, but that's because we're Slamfire, and in general, we just suck. But we do owe you many bonus episodes, and they will be coming out as soon as we remember to do them. That's the best I can say about that. Adriel's Johnny on the spot with your extra swag, but supporting us... Supporting us on Patreon is really important, guys. It helps keep the lights on here at Slamfire Radio, and we very much appreciate it. So you can show your love for us by giving us some of your hard-earned money. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, or you can get into the Caliber game and give us $50 a month, and you're the 50 BMG guy or girl, 76.2, 556, etc. So show our love by contributing a Caliber every month, and we will create bonus content just for you. Have you on the show, by the way. It becomes your episode. If you want to be the star executive producer and director of your own episode of Slamfire Radio, you can do so by becoming a Patreon, and we'll let you run the show. And if it's good, we'll post it. If it's not, we'll say that Adriel accidentally deleted it. So,
Mic problems
happens all the time. Sorry. All right. So we're going to say goodnight, but first we're going to remind you that if you're going to shop at Cabela's, you're going there anyway, visit them through us. We also get a little bit of a kickback for that. Please join one of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. It's like a kinder, friendlier CGN. We have a little home over there where we post the show. Kelly does, keeps it updated and whatnot. Like us on Facebook. We're at 2,191. As of today, which is far more than any orphanage has ever gotten. And you can look them up on Facebook, and you will see that parentless children get no love on social media or in real life.
No likes. No super likes.
For you.
No,
Roy,
no
this
emoji.
is for you.
A lot of the crying emoji.
Right? Yeah, except they stop crying in orphanages, right? So a behavior is a use of energy, and you only do behaviors, you only spend energy on behavior that results in something positive, right? We got negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement.
No.
Children in orphanages learn to stop crying because no one comes. So orphanages are actually pretty quiet. Science and stuff, man. Look it up. See you next week, everybody.